When giant penguins roamed the earth. The Junauts are a group of 10 to 18-year-old explorers. They have an interest in natural history. In 2006, the Junauts went looking for fossils in New Zealand. Fossils are remains. They are what is left from plants or animals that lived long ago. The Junauts found something unusual. It was a penguin fossil. It dated back 30 million years ago. The penguin was probably 1.5 meters, 5 feet tall. Penguin paradise. Are you surprised that giant penguins once lived in New Zealand? Let's take a closer look. We'll start about 66 million to 34 million years ago. Back then, our planet was very different. Most of this time, the climate was warmer. Climate is weather over a long period of time. Sea levels fell. There were lots of fish. Penguins had lots of food. They thrived in this climate. Penguins lived in New Zealand during this time period. The earliest penguins lived there 61 to 58 million years ago. One of these penguins was around 1 meter, 3 feet tall. That is about as tall as a 3-year-old. Ancient giants. The largest penguins were called Paleoeutypites. Let's call them PK for short. These penguins lived in Antarctica. They lived around 37 million to 40 million years ago. PK grew to over 2 meters, 6.5 feet tall. Today's pro basketball players are just slightly taller. That's a tall penguin. Giant penguins were different from today's penguins. They did not swim in near freezing seas. Scientists have learned that Antarctica was much warmer then. It was as warm as 20 degrees Celsius, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The Antarctic slowly changed, though. It became colder. Changing with the times? Scientists think giant penguins had few enemies, but then whales and seals evolved. That is, they slowly changed. They started to eat penguins. That made it harder for penguins to survive. Major climate change made it even harder for penguins. The earth grew warmer. The last of the giant penguins died out. They were extinct. Around the early 1900s, the climate began changing more quickly. It became warmer. This affected living things. Today's penguins live in freezing cold oceans, but those waters are warming. Now 5 kinds of penguins may go extinct. We can take steps to slow climate change. It might keep today's penguins from dying out.